main job at the labour industry was arranging casual employment. Like in those days, there were things like the sugar mills only worked for 6 months a year. There was the council, road building, railways, farms. And every Monday morning, I think it was, these poor old blokes without work used to line up. There was a side veranda, and they sort of standing out there in the open. And the land agent, Jack Lovejoy, he was a hated man. He had his favourites, you know, he'd pick, you, you know, and he'd pick about 10 and there'd be about 30 blokes there. And the others, you could see them going away almost crying. And they had to come back every Monday until they were picked, if they were picked. And then what happened, we had what we called unemployment insurance. You mightn't know about that. We sold stamps. These people who did work for 6 months, it was a book like a bank passbook, and these stamps we sold them at the labour office. They were threepence or sixpence or a shilling, and you came in and bought, or I think that your employer bought them and put them in this book. And when it got to 26 shillings, you didn't have to pay any more. The idea was that if you'd finished work, that 6 months' work, for the first 3 weeks you got paid nothing, but if you had this insurance, you were paid this amount, so much a week. Unemployment insurance, I don't know what it wasn't much, a couple of pound a week. The other thing, on a Friday, we used to have the poor old hobos who lived under the bridges. They got what they called rations, the princely sum of 8 shillings on a Friday. And you can just imagine, like even when they came there, you can see the wine almost running out of their eyes. And so this 8 shillings they got for rations would have been drunk by Friday afternoon. Like a flagon of wine probably was pretty cheap, but you know, I feel sorry for them. A couple of those fellows, we got pretty friendly. They were, even though they were hobos, I shouldn't use that word, but they'd laugh and talk to you, and real happy fellas. And, well, just because they came in every Friday to the office, and they used to have to wait outside, and they'd come inside. And there was one I remember, Jack, he was an American, he had a real American accent. He was a real happy-go-lucky bloke with a real American drawl. I don't know what his background is, but they just paid this sum of 8 shillings. And so I was there till, forestry had all the bottom floor, not forestry, Department of Labour Industry. And I was saying that story to the News Mail. All around the outside there were sandbags, about 6 or 8 foot high, like this is during the war. So the sandbags are about this wide, in case there was a bomb drop somewhere and they were supposed to stop shrapnel hitting the building. And every window was heavily taped with real thick tape, so that if the windows shattered, you wouldn't get cut a bit of flying glass. They built those air-raid cellars in Ormond Street, and I turned 18 on the 2nd of January 44. I was still at the Labour office, and I knew I'd be called up in the army. My older brother was in the army. He had 3 years in New Guinea, and he'd worked in that Labour Ministry office too, but not while I was there. So, because of my background at high school and the Air Training Corps, and I just loved planes, you know, I was going to shoot all these planes down. So I joined the Air Force. I put the application in before my 18th birthday, and I got called up to Brisbane on the 20th of January 44. That's when I actually entered the Air Force. And I've got my paybook here somewhere. So went to the RAAF headquarters in Brisbane, 20th of January 44. And you'll be surprised at how much you used to get paid. But I just tell you, this day, 20th of January 44, it's in here. How's that for a photo of me back in when I was 18? It looked like a convict. See the number there? 151217? that's on these things here. Anyway, what they did, we had all day having medicals, and of course I was enlisted as aircrew because I wanted to be big tough guy shooting the Japs out of the sky. And when they came to check my eyesight, they found out that I had amblyopia, which is blurred vision. I've had it since birth. I can see you, but you're not real clear. So they said, that's the end of your aircrew days. So I like to tell people I was a pilot for 3 hours in the Air Force. I'd worked in government as a clerk. I finished up as an Air Force clerk. So I worked in ordinary rooms, which was pretty good. You learned all what went on about the place. And anyway, you look at some of these plays you used to get. What's to say? They're 76 a day. Because we got free medical accommodation, food, clothing. And then I made an allotment to my mother. They always ask you that. And it was 2 shillings out of my pay. And it kept getting a bit bigger. But after 2 years, 7 months, the final totals on the last page, I got paid about, the whole money paid to me in the Air Force was $274.13.